Pepper says, are you ready to declutter another section of this hoarded basement? I know I am. It is that time of the week again. It is time to declutter another section in this hoarded basement. And we have been making amazing progress so far in 2023. My goal for this year is to completely have this basement cleared out. So we've been working from the back, working towards the front. So our plan for today is to declutter alongside the wall. That way we can clear out that space and place organized bins over there. That way we're opening up the middle. And I'm happy to say that hubby has been working on the insulation that was hanging from the ceiling. There was a leak there years ago and he replaced the pipes, but now we're finally going to get this officially cleaned up. Now when I start decluttering, to avoid getting so overwhelmed by the amount of stuff there is, I start with the easiest thing I can let go of so I can get that decluttering momentum going. And that's going to be with this box right on top, because what's inside of it is trash and things that have fallen from the ceiling. So this is going to be our first tossy-tossy. So this section of the basement, we have never decluttered before. And I know that there's going to be a lot of trash in this area. Now, some of you might be wondering, why would somebody hold on to trash? Well, the truth is that I have hoarding disorder, and this is a lifetime of habits and behaviors that became so subconscious that I didn't even realize I was holding on to trash. And I saw it as something that kept me safe. And when you continuously have a daily routine of saving and hoarding, and it keeps me safe, it becomes your baseline. There's a saying that says, cells that fire together wire together. So if you continuously have the same thoughts every day, do the same daily routines, make the same choices, of course it's going to be very predictable that you're going to have the same outcomes. And that's how those habits and behaviors continue each and every day. So you're probably wondering, how on earth do I even begin to change that? Well, the answer is, you gotta start to have new habits. You have to learn new things, and you have to try something a little different so that those cells start to fire and wire together. When I first started my journey in recovering and hoarding disorder, I started watching decluttering videos just like you. And Minimal Mom was the first one that I started watching on YouTube. I had inspired action to learn how to declutter, organize, and clean. That way I could start to spark that interest. And since I sparked that interest, it started to create thoughts that perhaps I can start to do it as well. And by repeating these thoughts that yes, I can declutter and clean up and recover in my hoarding disorder, I started writing about it in a journal of how I could completely clean out this house and how I would love the space to look like once I did it. I was creating new synaptic connections in my brain. I was also feeling really good and attaching positive emotions as I thought about this and journaled about it, because I wasn't going to continue on if it wasn't feeling good within myself. And since I was learning something new from Minimal Mom and Clutterbug, now I had to start to change my routine. I had to maintain what I just learned to strengthen those wires, those emotions, those experiences with decluttering and cleaning. Now, I just want to pause for a moment because I found this bag, and talk about inspiration. This was my uncle's brother's photography. Now, this is no blood relation, but I remember him giving me all these photos because I wanted to be an artist as well. And I remember how inspired I was by his art studio. He gave me these pictures in my 20s, and he has since then passed. But I want to be able to frame these one day in my craft studio. And if I want to have that craft studio that I imagine in my mind that I will love being and creating in, I now have to take the action to start to change those daily routines. And of course, you all know that I started with baby step decluttering. I had to start at where I was and what I was capable of. So I started with very small sections at a time, letting go what felt good to me, even if it was only one or two things. If it was a negative experience, being forced to declutter a whole section that I wasn't ready for, then I wouldn't continue on. I would have reverted back to my baseline, my lifelong subconscious conditioning of hoarding and saving. That's why I always say give yourself grace as you're doing it, because it's so important to keep this a positive experience so that you do it each and every week. I was creating these new emotions and behaviors and doing it on a daily basis so that it started to become more easier and familiar, and it wasn't scary anymore. And those cells that were firing and wiring together became stronger and stronger over the years, so much so that decluttering is a weekly routine behavior for me. The tossy piles have become bigger and bigger. I've become so much faster at making decisions on what to keep and what to let go of. And eventually, those habits and behaviors become subconscious to the point where my body knows to do the routine behavior better than my mind. How many times do we brush our teeth without consciously saying, hey, I better brush my teeth? You just know to get up in the morning with your regular routine, and brushing your teeth is a part of that. You don't have to premeditate on it. This is how I have changed a lifelong behavior of saving and hoarding. Did it take time? Yes, but that's okay, because every step forward got me closer and closer to my goal. And this applies to any behavior that you want to change. Mine just happened to be hoarding disorder. Yours could be something completely different. This is also why having accountability partners is key to successfully changing behaviors and habits, because it keeps you on track of completing the task on a weekly basis, meeting those goals together. And my YouTube family, you all were a part of that. Each and every week, I posted a video on what I was decluttering, and you guys showered me with love and positive reinforcement. So of course, I continued on. And my hope is that these videos, or anyone's decluttering videos, are helping you stay accountable, giving you that positive reinforcement that you can indeed do this too, and that these tools will help you reach your goals as well. And I'd love to hear in the comment section below, what are your goals? Because I would love to be able to keep each other accountable and encouraged and lifting each other, that we can indeed reach them. And speaking on reaching those goals, we are putting these organized bins on the side of the wall and labeling them. So of course, I know exactly what's in there. And now we get to show you the big tossy pile for this episode, we were able to get rid of a lot of stuff because I now recognize that it is trash and I don't feel that need to hold on to it for whatever reason I attached to the actual item. And of course, I'm going to recycle it as best as I can because that's very important to my heart that I'm able to recycle most of the items. And now Miss Pepper is very excited to show you the newly opened up space in the basement. We did it. We decluttered another section. We're opening up this middle space. This wall right here is going to just have bins that are already sorted through and organized. And once I can see the categories, I'll declutter it even more. We're also going to continue working down this wall. This is the vision that I see myself doing. And because I see myself doing it, I'm going to take action because I am driven and motivated to finally clear out this basement in 2023. And my hope and my prayer is that this video motivated and encouraged you to declutter and clean something in your home today too.